Behind every market crash, every parabolic rally, every heartbeat of chaos on your trading screen, there's an invisible force pulling the strings. Not algorithms, not billionaires, not even the news. It's something darker, something primal, something 99% of traders never see until it's too late. This isn't just numbers on a chart. It's a battlefield where fortunes are made and lost in seconds. Have you ever watched a stock chart explode out of nowhere? No warning, no logic, and wondered, what the hell just happened? Or placed a perfect trade, your analysis flawless, your confidence sky high, only to watch price reverse violently the moment you hit buy. Maybe you've seen your stop loss get hit with surgical precision, leaving you dazed as the market laughs in your face. This isn't luck. This isn't random. This is liquidity, the secret language of markets, written in blood, money, and manipulation. And right now, you're swimming in shark-infested waters without even knowing it. The predators are watching, and they smell weakness. I'm Alfred Mugo, your guide through this shadow war raging beneath every candle, every tick, every order you place. By the way, the sound you're hearing is AI. Yes, I'm using a bit of tech magic to bring this to life. Creating a channel in this niche while juggling trading isn't easy. The screen time, the testing, the trial and error, it's a lot. But here's the thing. As I test and experiment, I'll figure out exactly what content you love. So don't worry, we're in this together. I can't wait to conquer my fear of speaking to the camera and share even more with you. Today, we're ripping the veil off the hidden mechanics that institutions use to weaponize liquidity. Hunting stops, trapping retail traders, and bending price to their will like puppet masters. By the end of this, you'll never look at a support level or a breakout the same way again. You'll see the strings, you'll hear the whispers. This isn't trading education. This is trading survival. So lean in, turn up the volume, and whatever you do, don't look away. The market's hidden puppet show. What if I told you that every spike, every dip, every moment of chaos you've ever witnessed wasn't an accident? It's a performance, a carefully choreographed dance designed to separate the clueless from the clued in. Liquidity is the stage, and you're either an actor or an audience member getting played. Stick with me, and I'll show you how to step into the director's chair. What is liquidity? Imagine stepping into a bustling marketplace where vendors are eager to trade, prices hold steady like a calm sea, and buyers never struggle to find what they need. That's a liquid market, a place where assets like stocks, crypto, or Forex change hands effortlessly, smooth as silk, without sending prices into a tailspin. Now picture a ghost town, dusty streets, empty stalls, where selling anything means slashing your price to a fraction of its worth just to lure a single buyer. That's illiquidity, a trader's nightmare where desperation rules. Let's break it down further. In trading, liquidity measures how fast you can turn an asset into cold hard cash without twisting its value out of shape. High liquidity is your best friend. Seamless transactions, tight bid-ask spreads, and a market that flows like a river. Low liquidity? That's a jagged cliff edge. Erratic price swings, orders that vanish into thin air, and a market that punishes the unprepared. Understanding liquidity isn't optional. It's the line between thriving in the green and drowning in the red. One misstep here, and you're not just losing money, you're losing control. Liquidity, your trading lifeline. Think of liquidity as the oxygen in the room. When it's plentiful, you breathe easy. Trades execute at the snap of your fingers, and slippage is a distant memory. But when it's scarce, you're gasping, clawing for an exit as prices lurch like a roller coaster off its tracks. Ever tried selling a coin during a crypto crash only to see the price gap down 10% before your order fills? That's low liquidity showing you who's boss. Get this right, and you're in the driver's seat. The liquidity sweep, a trader's nightmare. Now, let's dive into the good stuff, the dark heart of the market's game. Ever noticed how prices sometimes spike or crash with brutal force, only to snap back moments later like nothing happened? That's not magic, my friend. That's a liquidity sweep in action, a calculated strike that leaves retail traders bleeding while the big players cash in. A liquidity sweep is when price goes on a rampage, hunting down hidden pockets of stop-loss orders and pending positions like a wolf sniffing out prey. It's fast, it's ruthless. The market, a cold and calculating machine, targets zones where retail traders cluster their stops, often just beyond support or resistance, triggering a cascade of liquidations before reversing with a smirk. Who's behind it? Institutional players and whales, the market's apex predators who manipulate liquidity zones to stack the deck in their favor. They don't just play the game, they rig it. Why should you care? If you think trading is just about drawing trend lines and chasing indicators, wake up. Liquidity sweeps are the market's way of resetting the chessboard before the real game begins. They're the opening salvo in a war you didn't even know you were fighting. Ever seen price smash through support or resistance, triggering a flood of stop losses, only to reverse moments later like it was all a cruel joke? That's not a fluke. It's the market gathering liquidity, circling its prey like a shark before the kill. Smart traders don't just stare at candlesticks, they dig deeper, analyzing where liquidity pools lurk. They know stop-loss clusters and pending orders are like neon signs screaming, "Come get me!" drawing price toward them before the true trend reveals itself. Miss this, and you're a sitting duck. My journey through the hidden world of liquidity. I'll never forget the first time the market sank its claws into me, a wound so raw it still lingers like a phantom ache. It was a frigid, sleepless night, the kind where the air bites at your skin and the computer screen's glare stings your bleary eyes. I'd poured my soul into what I swore was the perfect trade. Every line on the chart aligned, every calculation double-checked. My heart raced with the promise of triumph. Then in a heartbeat, the market turned feral. My stop-loss triggered with ruthless precision, and months of meticulous effort dissolved into a cascade of red numbers. I sat frozen, the silence roaring in my ears, betrayed not just by the market but by the fragile confidence I'd built. It wasn't just a loss, it was a mockery, the market sneering at my naivety as I crumbled. For years, I wandered the trading wilderness, chasing shadows of patterns and trends like a castaway, clutching at mirages. Every indicator, every scrap of data became my lifeline, a desperate bid to outsmart an opponent that refused to reveal its face. But the market was a riddle wrapped in chaos, its true puppet master liquidity lurking just out of sight. Each loss gouged deeper, each reversal twisted the knife of despair. I traded on borrowed money and borrowed hope, the stakes bleeding into my life beyond the screen. Sleepless nights blurred into days of self-doubt. Was I a fool to think I could conquer this beast? The market's dark currents felt like an ocean too vast, too wild to ever navigate. Then came a day so brutal it nearly broke me. The screen bled red, my trades unraveling one by one, when a flicker of clarity pierced the haze. I stumbled across a term, liquidity sweeps, that sounded mundane until I peeled back its layers. As I dug in, the chaos morphed into a revelation. The market wasn't a tempest of chance, but a grand, orchestrated ballet, with liquidity as the unseen choreographer. It was as if a veil lifted, and I saw the strings of the puppet show for the first time. Every spike, every plunge, they weren't random. They were moves in a calculated game, orchestrated by hidden pools of capital. The realization crashed over me like a wave. I hadn't been outplayed by fate. I'd been blind to the rules. That epiphany was a double-edged sword, terrifying yet exhilarating. I replayed every past loss in my mind, seeing how my stop losses had been sniped by invisible hands, how institutions and whales wielded liquidity like a weapon. But now I held a map to their battlefield. I began tweaking my approach, no longer flailing at shadows, but tracking the market's pulse. I placed trades where liquidity pooled, set traps of my own with tighter stop losses, and watched for the telltale sweeps that once devoured me. It was like learning to dance with a partner I'd spent years fighting, a shift from defiance to harmony. The road wasn't smooth. Lessons arrived wrapped in losses, each one a jagged reminder of the market's indifference. Doubt shadowed my every step, whispering that I'd never truly master this game. But resilience grew from those scars. I'll never forget the day it paid off. A profit, modest but hard-earned, after months of refining my liquidity lens. It wasn't the money that lit me up. It was the victory of bending the market's chaos to my will. The adversary I'd cursed became my mentor, teaching me that true strength lies not in resisting the tide, but in riding it. As I honed my craft, I turned outward, sharing hard-won truths with other traders lost in the same fog I'd escaped. In their eyes, wide with frustration, then bright with understanding, I saw echoes of my own path. One conversation stands out: a friend on the brink of quitting, his account gutted by a sweep he never saw coming. I walked him through the signs, and days later he texted me a win, small but enough to keep him in the fight. The market's puppet show wasn't a secret to hoard. It was a story to tell, a language to teach. Understanding liquidity didn't just reshape my trading, it rewired me. Patience replaced impulsiveness, analysis trumped guesswork, and I tuned myself to the market's heartbeat. That shift marked the pivot of my career, pulling me from the shadows into a space where I could trace the strings and anticipate the next move. Survival wasn't about chasing jackpots anymore. It was about mastering the subtle rhythm of liquidity. In that mastery, I found not just success but sovereignty. No matter how wild the market roared, I held the reins to my fate. This is my story, a trek through the ashes of loss to the dawn of clarity. It's proof that in trading's unforgiving arena, luck is a fleeting guest, but understanding is the key that unlocks the game. Once you glimpse the hidden world of liquidity, you don't just endure the market, you command it. Mastering liquidity. Liquidity isn't just a technical term, it's the invisible force pumping life into every major market move. Whether you're scalping 5-minute charts or holding for the long haul, knowing where liquidity hides is your edge, your shield, your weapon. Ignore it, and you're a pawn. Master it, and you're a player. If you've made it this far, you're already leaps ahead of the traders who stumble through markets blind, chasing shadows. Keep questioning, keep learning, keep peeling back the layers, because the moment you stop, the market starts winning. This isn't the end of the journey. It's the beginning of seeing the game for what it really is. Now that you've got the keys to liquidity sweeps, what's next? Stick around. Our next video dives into how to turn this knowledge into a trading superpower. Subscribe, hit the bell, and let's keep this fire burning. This is Alfred Mugo, and I'll catch you in the next one.